Now, some of my viewers are going to wonder why the hell I'm covering politics because you may only watch sports or whatever. You may not care about politics, but I very much am interested in politics and global affairs. So it is something that I'm still going to talk about. And judging by some of the comments in the videos, I get it that um, in Gematria land there are a lot of right wingers. There are a lot of fans of Donald Trump. I completely uh, understand it. Understand it. Not that not that you can't have a lot of good conspiracies on the left wing. I mean, you just take a look at 9/11. I mean, the entire left wing thought that that 9/11 was an inside job, and it was an inside job. So this thing doesn't stop. But again, other topics like the NBA. Yes, I want to get into basketball, but again, I want to know the schedule for the NBA finals and the Yankee season. I think has started. It better start right now after today. So I think a big series against the Red Sox, the breakdown. I think the purple has a color of royalty with the coronation of the first female president. It's going to tie in with the Lakers with their 19th championship, and the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. Now it is a reality. We are very close to the first female president, so inevitably, I think that Kamala will be visit. A woman is going to visit Kamala. We're talking about Jeannie Buss. So the coronation of the first female president is going to connect to the coronation of Goat King LeBron James. I think the purple color, as far as royalty, could connect to the Baltimore Ravens. I think it's just all going to be interconnected to the first female president again because um, Maryland is called Maryland. You know, the first name is after a girl. Granted, it's the Virgin Mary, blah blah blah. But again, purple is royalty, and where the hell, and what the hell is John Harbaugh saying the other day? He said Lamar Jackson was the greatest quarterback of all time. Was that what he said, or did he say can he become the greatest quarterback of all time? What did he say? But something better big happened for Lamar Jackson if you go ahead and call him the greatest quarterback of all time. So Jacoby Harris died. I still need a cover Jacoby. What was it? Jacoby Ford or Jacoby Jones? Yeah, Jacoby Jones died. The hero of Super Bowl 47, the last Super Bowl at New Orleans. Many thought he should have been Super Bowl MVP because he had the kickoff return for the touchdown, and I think he caught another touchdown too. It was a great play. Um, uh, Jude passed a couple of defenders. Once he caught a long ball, that was Jacoby Jones. So a death of a Raven right before Super Bowl 47. Um, and we'll see if there's going to be a first time thing uh, where a team wins a Super Bowl two times at the same stadium. I don't think we've seen it because Tom Brady he lost at Arizona against the Giants, but then um, he won at Arizona, didn't he? Yeah, against the Seahawks. So it hasn't happened before. But I mean, the whole movie with Donald Trump. I get it. He was on national TV for years. He was talked about he wants to be president in 1988. Now, you don't let a guy like that on TV if he isn't a puppet. So he was always on mainstream media, even decades before 2015 when he launched his campaign in June over at Trump Tower. But I just think it's just very fitting that Trump's whole political career began by demanding Obama to release his birth certificate. Oh, he's not born in America. Obama's a Muslim, all that. Donald Trump, he said all these things about Obama. And when Trump did release his birth certificate, or when Obama released his birth certificate, they had the White House correspondent dinner, and Obama was just mocking Donald Trump's birtherism. People were laughing. Obama was joking, and Donald Trump basically had to take it. He got humiliated at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and then next thing you know, a few years later, Donald Trump um, won in 2016. But his career didn't begin with the border wall campaign. His political career began really at the moment that he riled up the Tea Party in white America with Obama's not from America. He's a Muslim. Let's see the birth certificate. Let's see the documents. I need to see the proof that Obama's born at America. That so it began with these dog whistles against Obama, a black president, and it's all going to end for Donald Trump's political career in poetic fashion against a black president. I mean, he attacked America's first black president. Donald Trump, he loses to America's second black president to end this political career. You know, the women that Donald Trump ate so much, well, he beat a woman, Hillary Clinton, and now he's going to lose to a woman. But I guarantee you, he would much rather lose to a white woman than a black woman, because Donald Trump, he hates black people. Fred Trump and Donald Trump discriminated against black tenant applicants. There was a renters discrimination that Donald Trump, he had to pay out a lawsuit to New York because of that. So, and I think Fred Trump was associated with the Ku Klux Klan too. So that's kind of the moral of the story, that America's getting browner, and Joe Biden said that he's going to govern America like the demographic makeup of the country. And so, and I do know Kamala's going to win. Now, a recession may happen, potentially sometime between 2024 and 2028. So I think it probably will be beneficial for the losing party to lose this election, because it's like, hey, if there's a recession in 4 years from now, then you may just have an easy ticket back to the White House 4 years later. And now Kamala, I don't like at all. Like, I made the video about Kamala Harris, being a fraud, fake African American, like, oh, she's black, she's also Indian, and she didn't have a great progressive record as a prosecutor, so she was a very big hypocrite in that regard. And she purposely jailed people that she knew were innocent from smoking pot. So Kamala's not very progressive, and a lot of people don't like her because of negative energy, the kind of same thing that people don't like Donald Trump. But just people happen to hate Trump more than they just rather not see Trump than seeing Kamala get elected president. And that's just what's going to decide this election. American people as a whole are sick and tired of Donald Trump. It doesn't matter if they don't like Kamala. They don't want a fascist. They don't want a pussy grabber. They don't want a grifter. They don't want a con man. They don't want a divider during a pandemic and did nothing during a pandemic. They don't want a guy who gave tax breaks to the wealthy. Donald Trump is all these things that they don't like him. He got rid of lots of consumer protections, Donald Trump tried to gut the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So, and Kamala's a prosecutor. She's definitely going to bring up Trump's record. It's going to sit very bad for the Trump campaign to see Kamala obliterate Donald Trump and to start winning over independents. And the polls don't lie right now. I think the $81 million that Kamala Harris got on day one is showing that people were just had no enthusiasm for Joe Biden and the lack of energy, the dementia that he had. And when people hear Kamala speak about Trump, they're very fired up about Kamala. So a younger voice was needed to fire up Gen Z, and Joe Biden was losing his voice. He was mumbling, he was stumbling, he couldn't keep his train of thought. Joe Biden was not getting people excited. Voter morale was very low on the left wing because of Joe Biden's very lethargic senior state that he's in right now. But hey, Joe Biden's in his age. He's too old to run. And now Donald Trump is the oldest person ever to run for president. Now it's completely flipped. Everybody agreed that Trump and Biden were too old to run, but now Kamala's 59, Trump is 78. That stands out for the Democrats. They have a younger candidate. This is going to hurt the Republican Party. Now, I do think J.D. Vance regrets taking the job as vice president. He thought it was going to be an easy win against Biden. J.D. Vance thought they were running against Biden. That's what he was banking on. He said all these things about Trump in the past, but he is willing to sell out his principles for political power, and it backfired immensely. I do believe that J.D. Vance regrets taking the vice presidential job, the running mate post for Donald Trump. J.D. Vance didn't even grow up in Appalachia. He grew up outside the Appalachian Mountains. So what does he know about the lifestyle that Appalachians go through? He didn't even grow up over there. J.D. Vance is just a grifter. He is. And now there's no going back. J.D. Vance can't call up Kamala Harris and be her vice president. J.D. Vance regrets it. Kamala Harris was looking for a male because you need to bring balance to the ticket. This "I'm with her" crap with Hillary Clinton, I don't blame men who thought that Hillary Clinton didn't care about them. You know, Hillary made it all about "I'm with her, I'm with her, I'm with her, I'm for women, I'm for women." Like it was completely one-sided campaign. It was just so bad that Hillary's optics made it seem like she only cared about women. But a male on the ticket would bring some balance, and that's why I like a male from a swing state to be Kamala's running mate. Now, AIPAC is going to pick Josh Shapiro because he's the Jew. AIPAC, they don't want support for displaced Palestinians and the Palestinians going through genocide by the Israeli military. AIPAC is the American Israeli Political Action Committee. They pretty much own both parties. Whoever is the nominee for both the Democratic and the Republican Party, they both defend Israeli interests. They both give foreign aid to Israel. So I think Josh Shapiro, I believe, is probably they're going to pick him to be vice president. And he is from a swing state. He is from Pennsylvania. They will secure Pennsylvania. Definitely. It's Biden's home state, and there's a lot of support over there. I think Harris would do better in Georgia because of the black vote. I mean, black voters, Kamala is doing better with the black voters than Trump. And this is the problem that Trump and Vance face. You can't start talking about Kamala being a diversity hire for the ticket. You think them brothers out there are going to be happy with Trump if he says that Kamala's only there because she's a diversity hire? That she didn't get there because of her qualifications as being a competent, qualified black woman? You can't play the DEI game. The only game they will have to play with Kamala is the fact that she has a terrible record as far as being a progressive prosecutor. That why should we trust Kamala. Again, we have to see what they're actually going to do. What's the rhetorical game plan from the Republican Party going to be? Because certainly Kamala is going to go after Trump's record pretty hard. Are they going to defend? How's Trump going to defend this record? Kamala can point to the fact that that Biden created more manufacturing jobs than Donald Trump. The CHIPS Act brought semiconductor jobs back to America. Now, these jobs don't come overnight, but sometime in the future after the election, those jobs will come, but they just can't come overnight. There's a process for these jobs to come back, for these companies to send these jobs back as part of Biden's bill. But I do think that there's some unintended consequences with the good things that Biden and Harris has done. I mean, I think with the amount of money that has been spent, I don't think the economy is going quick enough right now. Now you're banking on economic growth being 3.5%, 4%, but now it's under 3%, and we're close to full employment. So again, real wages haven't changed really. Maybe wages have changed nominally, but certainly as far as real wages go, I think we're about the same as we were in 2019. And my biggest criticism with the 4 years, I think, is with Joe Manchin and the guys in the Senate who struck down the minimum wage increase. And, the corporate tax rate could be much higher than 20%. It could be 25, 30, back up to 35% in 2016, but not even Democrats do it because, again, there's corporate Democrat wing of Democratic parties. Even though the corporate rate went up from 15 to 20%, relative to 2016, 20% is still much lower than the corporate rate of 35% in 2016. But I don't think Kamala is going to be a good president. I think this is going to hurt the Democratic Party 2025 to 2029, January 2029. Again, Kamala will only get elected because she is not Donald Trump. And the system is broken in that we don't have great choices. The Republican primary voters willingly gave their party Donald Trump. They're just flat out ignorant, out of their minds. Like they are in a cult. Well, the Democrats, Biden just handpicked Kamala, even though Elizabeth Warren did better. Now, California, they didn't want to lose Elizabeth Warren, I think. I think in Massachusetts, I don't think the governor names a replacement. They have like a runoff election. So that's what hurt Elizabeth at the end. And again, Biden's not as progressive as Bernie and Elizabeth with Kamala. He was the running mate for the first black president. I think Biden wanted to make his mark with having the first female president, also the second black president. And do I think she was chosen because of her color? I probably say so. I think what she's done with the border, I don't know how much of the presidential duties she has had over the past 4 years, but Biden would be a better negotiator with Republicans to pass the legislation that he needs. I don't know how savvy Kamala is going to be to continue the agenda, because you're going to need more than just Democrats to pass legislation. You're going to need Republicans to pass legislation as well, some of them. Donald Trump is not going to be happy if he loses to a black woman. Not just a woman, but a black woman. He hates women and he hates black people. He loses to Kamala Harris right after he called Obama not from this country. He's born in Kenya. That's just how it's going to end. It's all a script. You know what else is a script? Kamala's mother, I think, is Indian, and JD Vance's wife is Indian too. Don't know what India has to do with it, but these things I don't think are coincidental. Again, the media is saying, pass the torch, pass the torch, pass the torch. They are told to say, pass the torch. Biden was told to say, pass the torch. Adam Schiff, he said, Biden, time to drop out, pass the torch. They are all saying, pass the torch. Now, there's a good short that I need to show you guys because Joe Biden's announcement, I connected past the torch because basically Kamala was chosen to be the chosen one to defeat Donald Trump. Not, not at the moment Biden decided to drop out of the race. Well, you know how much Biden likes ice cream. Biden dropped out on National Ice Cream Day. Biden loves his ice cream, and out of all days that he drops out of the race, he drops out on National Ice Cream Day. But I watched Biden's address today, and it makes a lot of sense too. Pass the torch, 53. Joseph Biden, 53, in 5 years and uh, 53 months after Kamala was chosen to be Joe Biden's running mate, is when she'll be president. Pass the torch is 53. Kamala became next president, not in 2024 when Biden dropped out, but she became president August the 11th, the day that Biden chose her to be his successor, to be his running mate. And it is planned. I don't know if The Simpsons predicted Kamala, but The Simpsons predicted a woman to follow Donald Trump. That was the problem with Hillary Clinton. She could not win because there's a moth. Ah! Turn on the light. Ah! Ah! God damn it. There's a moth over there. Damn it. Fuck. It was right here, too. It was right here. Fuck. God damn. That should be a good short to upload. I am gonna be live for the election. Everybody's gonna want to see Donald Trump win to see me blow up. I guarantee you, everyone's gonna want to see the Trump win just to see how I react. I guarantee it. I will go crazy and bizarre if Donald Trump wins. This world is upside down if Donald Trump wins. I swear. It's crazy. I don't think he's got a chance. Anyway, now that Biden he's done, he's out of the race, you know, time for electoral maps. How's my state of Arizona gonna do? I just think that, I won't surprise me to see Trump win Arizona, honestly. The border issue is a big issue. When you're right there on the border, it's a big issue for a lot of voters. So I could see Arizona going back to Trump, honestly. I think, even though I think a lot of people from California are moving here and become a bluer state, and obviously Latino was a bigger share of the population in 10 and 20 years ago, blah, 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 blah. I think the border is still going to be a big issue. I can just see the worst case scenario happening for Donald Trump. I mean, Obama won North Carolina, I think, in 2008. I mean, why, why, well, why not? Why not? More black people are voting now more than ever. I think because MLK was born at Georgia, that's going to help Kamala win Georgia again. But here we are. Love or hate Donald Trump. Love or hate him. There's a storyline. There is no way Trump was going to lose in 2016 after Obama humiliated him at the White House correspondent dinner. Trump made stuff up about Obama not being from America, not being born in America. It's all going to end against a black woman. Right after saying Obama's not from America, it's going to end against a black woman. What a shame. What a shame. He really could have Elizabeth Warren as our first female president. He really could have had Elizabeth Warren. I think no one, Elizabeth Warren should have been the first female president, but identity politics, Kamala's not a progressive. Man, she sucks. And just mentally, just Trump was really lost. Just Kamala's going to be president, and I think Elizabeth Warren absolutely was the very best possible person to become the first female president. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It is a shame. On the right, I am on the right side of history. All these Manchurian candidates that they pick, like Donald Trump, like Kamala Harris, man, these are man freaking Churians. Black black nominee has to beat Trump, even if she's corrupt. I mean, there could be a lot better black people running on the Democratic ticket, like Susan Rice. Susan Rice, Stacey Abrams. I mean, those are the black people you want to run. And my question is, why don't they ever run a full-blooded black person to be president? Why does it always have to be half black, like Obama, half black Kamala? Seriously. What is their problem? Why don't they ever want to run the 100% black person by? There's something racist and systemic going on there. It's not just Democratic Party. Why isn't Tim Scott? Hey, Trump and Tim Scott. Tim Scott takes the black vote. They're not even trying to win. You're not even trying to win. Like, Tim Scott can bring black votes, black male votes. That embrace toxic masculinity, whatever. That's the theory as to why they're voting Republican. You can have Tim Scott secure the black vote, whatever percentage of black voters that you need on the Republican Party. Tim Scott just seems like the option if you want to win. I mean, a boring all-white male ticket. I think Biden has the right idea. You have to kind of run America like the demographics of the country. Doesn't mean you just fill in color quotas. You find the best possible qualified candidates out of a wide pool of people. But I do not like Kamala. I feel that, Katie Porter and Gretchen Whitmer, first and foremost, Elizabeth Warren was my favorite to be the first female president. And so again, it is it's a travesty that Kamala Harris is the first female president. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to be freaking celebrating when Trump loses because he'll go down in history as a fat, huge, giant loser. But at the same time, Kamala Harris is not a progressive. Trump's God who gives a damn. His political career is over. He's not president, so he doesn't leave in January. So yeah, his political career is over in under 4 months. But God damn it. We get rid of Donald fucking Trump for once, but you give us fucking Kamala ass Harris. God damn it. Son of a bitch. I swear to God. I would have totally much rather prefer Susan Rice, Katie Porter, Elizabeth Warren. Why do you have to get fuck ass Kamala, man? Manchurian. Donald Trump, Manchurian. He was never a threat to anybody. They always aired him on TV. They always interviewed this guy. They interviewed him on Fox 2011 with the Birtherism. They interviewed Trump running for president in 1988. This guy was never a threat. He was friends with lots of politicians. Trump was a pay-to-play guy. Why do you think he donated Kamala Harris in the first place? Because, don't prosecute my Trump University. I scammed all these people. Hey, Kamala, here's your money. Don't prosecute Ivanka Trump. Don't prosecute. Fuck Ivanka, man. All these freaking sheep out there are going to, Ivanka Trump, 2028. Give me a freaking break on that shit. These companies can't trademark with China. And guess who got accepted from that? Oh, Donald Trump's daughter. I will enjoy seeing MAGA go down. And I get it that politics is awful to listen to. Maybe you're not into my political videos, whether it be because of difference in political beliefs or whether it just be that politics sucks. Yeah, politics sucks because I don't watch MSNBC or CNN except for election season. I just can't. It's not just left or right. People can't stand mainstream media. People are canceling their New York Times subscriptions. They're not going after Donald Trump's record. It seemed like a while they were trying to elect Donald Trump. The media was trying to have Donald Trump in there. Why was it too good to be true? They were not calling out Donald Trump's lies and Donald Trump's record. It was too good to be true. But when people listened to Biden on June 27, he didn't inspire any confidence. And people were not giving money to Biden. Whether it be big-time donors, whether it be grassroots donations, something had to change. Joe Biden completely played the Republican Party. I was like, wow, Joe Biden really did say he was only running one term? Oh, according to his aides, he was only running for one term. But you're not going to say that out in the open because you're not going to elect a lame duck who's only going to be there for 4 years. So it was going to be very vague on Joe Biden's part. He wasn't going to say out loud that he's a one-term president. He never, ever intended on running again in this election. But They did wait until the GOP had their convention, which was based on a platform of running against Biden, and now that has gone completely out of the door. They got played like a second fiddle by a savvy 50-year experienced politician, Joseph Robinette Biden. He played the entire Republican Party into thinking he was going to run again. He never once intended to run. It was all planned on National Ice Cream Day for Joe Biden to drop out. And that freaking moth is over here. I turn on the light. It got right over here. So he never intended to run. And they always have their conventions at different times. But how convenient that the Republicans had their convention, they're going to be Biden, and now that goes all out the door. And people understand this, and they are absolutely fired up to get rid of Donald Trump and all this negative energy out there. The racism, the tax breaks for the wealthy, the dividing of the Americans during the pandemic. I want to help Russia take over the rest of what used to be the USSR. The moth is on my beanie. This is absolutely crazy. Damn freaking moth. Is it still on my beanie? Why won't it go near the light? I swear. God damn it, man. I think I've said all that I needed to say right now, honestly. Damn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for what you have done for this nation. Thank you for making this party the strongest party it has ever been.
Okay, I'll turn on. Maybe it'll get rid of that freaking moth.
To do that. Listen, there is so much excitement in the Democratic Party right now.
It likes my beanie so much. Why did it like my beanie? Freaking moth.
In such a short window.
Oh, there the light, you bastard. Come on.
The Obama convention time, right? When people saw him in that stadium, and there was so much energy across the party. But we see that right now in the Democratic Party, and it's amazing. And we're just trying to. This is a great thing. For the last 3.5 years, thanks to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we've been able to rebuild all of the parties in our 50 states so that they can now accommodate this energy and focus this energy into doing the grassroots activities that are necessary to win these close elections. And that's what we're going to do. And that's a stark contrast to the Republican Party that doesn't have any field offices, that don't have any ground game. They're just hoarding money, I guess, to pay Donald Trump's legal bills.
That is the theory. Well, I do know you love Joe Biden, and thank you for saying that at the top. I know that means so much to so many people who are watching, love him, and watch that speech and felt the same way. So let me ask you, there's been a lot of big moments in the last couple of months, weeks, certainly in the last 72 hours. One that we're all
just try to understand. It's not helping Donald Trump. Donald Trump don't have a chance of winning the election.
If you'd like to, we'd love to take your thoughts. But you've
the people, especially the minority of the Republican Party, are sick and tired of Trumpism. There are conservatives out there who just want to go back to the Republican Party being the Republican Party instead of the party of Trump. When is that going to happen? When are they going to favor women's rights? When are they going to be serious about the climate? Seriously. Man, Republican Party is scared that Kamala Harris is going to win. They're scared. Now the GOP is trying to sue to prevent the Democrats from taking Joe Biden's name off the ballot, but they didn't even formally nominate Biden yet. So that court case is going to get tossed out. They're scared of Kamala. They're scared about the legions of Gen Z and women and black voters that they're going to fully mobilize for the election. Seriously. Dog whistles and they are not going to work anymore. And don't believe me that Kamala's going to win. Just wait till election night. He will lose to a woman. I can promise that. He will lose to a black nominee. I promise you that. It's all WWE wrestling, right? I mean, you start attacking the first black president and your political career ends because of a black woman. You couldn't have it end any better than under that scenario. It's going to happen. Just watch.